and welcome back to my channel, ChaiXoLatte. If you're new here, definitely subscribe because we are going to be getting into some juicy topics on this channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. I'm glad to have you back. Today we're going to be talking about taking accountability for your life. So when it comes to taking accountability, we're really talking about taking responsibility. And if we look at our life as if it is a car, we are the sole owners of our car, the sole drivers of our car. So furthermore, our actions directly impact the state of our life. All right, so let's get one thing clear. Life is going to happen to everyone. Life is full of ups, downs, highs, and lows, and sometimes some things are just completely out of our control. However, we choose how we decide to react when those certain things happen in our lives. When something happens to us in life, we have the choice to either do something about it or not do something about it. But regardless, we have to be content with whatever consequences end up coming from making that decision. Taking accountability comes with a sense of honesty about where we currently are and how we got there. And on the other hand, we can't take accountability for what's going on in our life if we're shifting the blame onto outside forces or other people. By doing that, we end up giving away our power and giving up our responsibility towards the issue. With that being said, we are all acting from a place of free will. We all have the choice to decide what it is that we end up doing with our lives. So we have the choice in how we respond to certain situations. And believe it or not, even the act of being stagnant and not making a definite decision is still making the decision. It's making the decision to not act, making the decision to not move forward, and that also has consequences. I believe that if you have enough confidence to make a choice and to stand by it, also be strong enough to take accountability for the consequences and the aftermath of what ends up happening due to that choice. And with that being said, some people choose not to take accountability. Those people take the accountability off of themselves by placing it onto outside things, outside people. In other words, they're shifting the blame and playing the victim. By placing the accountability onto outside forces, you place yourself into the state of being a victim, which is basically you're taking the stance as these things are happening to you and you don't have any action or you didn't put forth any cause into making it happen to yourself. And if you don't see yourself as the cause to the problem, you won't find a solution to the problem, because just as you are looking at outside forces and people as the problem, you will look for outside sources and people to come up with the solution to your problem. It's honestly just like cause and effect. Every choice we make has a consequence, and as humans acting out of free will, we must be accountable for the choices that we make and be content with the results that happen thereafter. All right, so let me give you a very simple example. Let's say your friend invites you to go and have ice cream, but you know that you're lactose intolerant, and you know that if you go out and you eat this ice cream, your stomach is gonna be toe up. You then have a decision to make. You can either be honest with yourself and know for a fact that it's probably not in your best interest to go and get this ice cream, or you can make the choice to give in and go and have ice cream and end up suffering the consequences later. Or if you're like me, you could end up making some kind of counter offer to go and have, like, I don't know, pancakes or something. Something other than ice cream that you know is not going to mess up your stomach, but you and your friend are still able to go out and have a good time. The choice is yours at the end of the day. Furthermore, taking accountability looks like you taking charge of the things that you can control within your life. So, for example, if you have a certain amount of money that you want to make by the end of the year, now you could say, oh, I'm working a job and they're not paying me enough, so I'm not able to make the amount of money that I would like to make in a year. But that would be you completely giving up your power and your free will and your ability to take action and make a change for yourself. When in reality, we all know there's tons of different ways to make money, whether it be passive or active. And then it would be your responsibility to learn what you need to learn in order to take the actions that you need to take in order to get the results that you would like to see within your life. So with all of that being said, I would say the first step to taking accountability is to be honest with yourself about where you are currently in your life and how you got there. Once you're honest with yourself about where you are and how you got there, you need to accept that as being the truth, and also understand what role you played in your life being that way. What role you played, what decisions you made that got you to the point that you are currently in. Only then will you be able to get yourself out of that situation. Taking accountability is when you are looking for healthy solutions to your problems. Problem solving is a very essential skill when it comes to life, because life is going to be what it's going to be. It's not going to be easy, and like I said before, there are going to be highs and low points when it comes to this. So when you have a developed mindset and you're able to think your way out of issues and problems, you're going to be much better equipped than the person who will choose to shift the blame onto other people in order to avoid taking accountability. And the thing about the kind of person who shifts blame onto outside forces and onto other people, when it comes to their situation, they may not get the desired result that they would like because they don't see where they have contributed to the issue. Either that or they choose not to see it. Accountability doesn't just look like making things right when things are currently going wrong. It is also making the best out of the things that we do have so that we can receive the results that we are looking for. When I say this, I'm talking about the specific resources that we have currently that can help us get to where we are trying to get in life. If you have a computer and you have internet access and you are trying to make more money when it comes to your income, don't hold yourself back by a lack of knowledge, a fear of not being good enough. Don't hold yourself back. If you have a computer or even phone access and you have internet, make the most out of those resources and try to do research, maybe come up with a list of like different ways that people are making up money. And sometimes it's as easy as a Google search or a YouTube search. Regardless, the point of what I am saying is whatever resource that you have in your grasp, use it to your advantage and try to make the most out of it. That is an example of you taking control of your life and doing what you have to do in order to move yourself forward and get to where you're trying to go. And that, my friends, is taking accountability. Another instance of taking accountability would be to use your time wisely. And this goes under the idea of using what you have to get to where you're trying to go. One thing that we all have is time. We all have time. The clock is ticking, okay? Even in this moment, the seconds, the minutes are going by. What are you doing with your time that is going to help you get to where you're going to go? What are you doing with your time that is going to help you achieve the results that you're looking for in life? I always say that we live on this plane of time and space, and it's up to us to honestly make the most out of that. We're all granted with 24 hours in a day, and whether you decide to waste your time being distracted, Lord knows social media got everybody's heads on lock right now. But you could either choose to get on board and see how you can make some money, or be the person who's scrolling and scrolling for hours on end on the internet and not really being productive. Regardless, you understand where I'm going with this. Make the most out of your time. Set goals, set plans, get it organized, and manage your time so that it works out for you. If you work, that's cool. A lot of us work. But even after you get off of work, try to find time to pour into yourself, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. Work on yourself, work on your goals until you're able to get to where you feel successful in life. And with that takes taking responsibility and taking accountability. So with that being said, definitely let me know if you guys want me to do a video on time management, because I will do it. And it's just a friendly reminder that we all need to be taking our time into consideration, to be honest, because it's one of the things that we can't get back, that we won't get back. So with that being said, I would say it's one of the most valuable things on this planet. So just as I said before, actions and consequences are just like cause and effect. You have to own up to the role that you play in your life and in the life of other people. And sometimes that even means admitting when you're wrong. It's important to vocalize that you understand the role that you played in other people's lives by saying that you're sorry. And sometimes it's just as simple as that. We all make mistakes. We all do things that, we're not very proud of. And honestly, it's just a part of being human and learning how to navigate our emotions. Sometimes we have tendencies to be rude with people, depending on how we ended up waking up in the morning. Sometimes we can be a little selfish. Sometimes we can rub people the wrong way, and that's completely okay. But it's also important to understand that, we're all human and we're all trying to live our lives amongst each other. And with that being said, we aren't always going to be each other's cup of tea. But when we are all accountable for our actions and what we do as people, it makes it so much more easier to respect each other and to live amongst each other with harmony and peace, because we have an understanding of where we're all coming from. When it comes to the idea of saying that you're sorry, when it comes to apologizing, you're simply saying that you understand the role that you played in causing whatever you did or whatever your role was in helping something to occur. It would mean so much for you to just acknowledge that you were wrong and admit, your fault, like what role you played in that instance. Just for you to say, I understand, I know, I'm terribly, terribly sorry, I'm so sorry. I was being negligent, I wasn't paying attention, and the cat ended up getting out. With your apology, it opens the door to the idea of forgiveness, which makes the blow just a little bit better, okay? It takes a very strong person to admit when they're wrong and to stand firm in that energy and to ask for forgiveness. But it's honestly needed in order to release those negative emotions and the effects of whatever was done in order to bring that on in the first place. Let's say you did something that you're not really too proud of, and as a result, you ended up feeling really ashamed within yourself or really guilty within yourself. It honestly happens. Like I said before, we're human and we make mistakes, and we do things sometimes that we don't really think through, and some things that we're just not too proud of, let's be honest. But also sometimes, you have to also forgive yourself for making those wrong choices and for doing that action that you weren't really so proud of in the first place. So not only is it important for us to take accountability and apologize for what it is that we've caused onto other people and in their lives, whether it be friends, family, relationships, all that kind of stuff. It's also just as important for us to take accountability within our own selves and to apologize to ourselves and to forgive ourselves for those things that we may have done irrationally, may not, be too proud of ourselves for doing bad decisions, all of that kind of stuff, because we're all human and we're all trying to work through our emotions, and it's a day-to-day process and it's not always going to be easy. But when we're able to come from a place of understanding and come from a place of love at that, we're able to make better decisions and grow and form an understanding, But let's make one thing clear. An apology does not mean anything if you're still going to be willing to continue to do what it is that you said that you are no longer going to do. So if you're going to take accountability and you're going to ask for forgiveness for whatever it is that you did, whether it be to someone else or to yourself, make sure you're willing to take the actions necessary in order to repair or mend whatever it is that you need to repair or mend. So with that being said, I hope that I encourage those of you out there to swallow your pride and take accountability for your life, for your relationships, and just for the things that you want out of life, because we're all here trying to understand each other and trying to make the most out of our lives, and that takes great responsibility. I hope you all enjoyed, and I appreciate you all. With all of that being said, do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you guys are notified when I upload, and I will see you guys in my next video.